I want to talk this morning about the practice of truthfulness. It's something we've talked about in the past. Truth or truthfulness, the Pali word is Sacca, S-A-C-C-A, is one of the 10 paramis or perfections that the Buddha taught. And we've talked about various ones of them over the preceding months. It's also the fourth of the 5 lay precepts in Theravada Buddhism. So obviously the Buddha put a great deal of importance on truthfulness. And other than the obvious ethical implications of being truthful, what does it have to do with our path, with our practice? And what I think it has to do with it is that every moment of mindfulness requires it. That we are truthful about the reality of life as it is, not as we want it to be. And more importantly, perhaps, that we're truthful about our own contributions to our suffering. It's important to note here that when we talk about truthfulness, we're not talking about perfection or flawlessness. Instead, we vow to see our many foibles, defects, and failures in the process of learning the truth of things. We use these defects and failures as our teachers, as red flags, so that we see things not as we think they should be, including ourselves, but as they actually are. This is truthfulness. This is the perfection of truthfulness, if you will. By seeing the truth of how things are, we experience freedom from delusion, one of the 3 poisons: greed, hatred, and delusion. We're not constantly trying to fix things, change things, perfect things, organize things. All of that is exhausting. And it takes a great deal of effort, and it takes us out of the present moment. And we do that instead of accepting things as they are. And by accepting things that they are, we acknowledge that they're not broken, by which I don't mean they're not flawed, but that they're not bad or defective or unacceptable. They are what they are. The only thing that's broken are our perceptions and our labeling. Truthfulness is also skillful, especially with regard to speech, right speech, because wisdom arises from seeing things as they are, which is another benefit of truthfulness. We let go of delusion in terms of reality, and by doing so, we free ourselves from the prison of the ego's unskillful wishes and demands. With truthfulness, we don't waste time and energy pretending things are other than they are. This is from Bhikkhu Bodhi, who is the Western Theravadan monk who's the primary translator of the Pali Canon into English. Brilliant, brilliant man. He says, quote, "Truthful speech establishes a correspondence between our own inner being and the real nature of phenomena, allowing wisdom to rise up and fathom their real nature. Thus, much more than an ethical principle, devotion to truthful speech is a matter of taking our stand on reality rather than illusion, on the truth grasped by wisdom rather than the fantasies woven by desire," close quotes. So let me read that again because it's a little bit complicated. Truthful speech establishes a correspondence between our own inner being and the real nature of phenomena, allowing wisdom to rise up and fathom their real nature. Thus, much more than an ethical principle, devotion to truthful speech is a matter of taking our stand on reality rather than illusion, on the truth grasped by wisdom rather than the fantasies woven by desire, close quotes. So let me leave it there and let's talk about truthfulness.